This ain't no disco. Ain't no country club, neither. This is REA.
Welcome, everyone, to our special Halloween edition of
Lala
in RVA with Big Voodoo Daddy.
That's right.
where we slip into the shadows of classic literature and
Explore the hauntingly human side of creativity. Today, we're joined by a writer who knows how to find light and laughter, perhaps some darkness as well. The esteemed Cat Baab, who is a journalist and author whose work has appeared in the Wall Street Journal, Slate, CNBC, and more. Her debut nonfiction book, Poe for Your Problems, reimagined Edgar Allan Poe as an unlikely self-help hero and earned praise from Barnes & Noble, the Library of Virginia, and everywhere who loves his wisdom with a Gothic twist. Poe's, not hers. Anyway, now Kat is diving into the world of another literary legend, Mary Shelley. Ooh,
spooky.
The brilliant mind behind Frankenstein, or Frankenstein, I don't know. We'll find out. In her new book, In Progress, she explores the power of creation, grief, and resilience, perhaps, we'll find out, that define Shelley's life and legacy. So tonight, as the candles flicker and the veil between worlds grow thin, we'll talk about Kat's journey as a writer, how it's evolved, what she's discovering about Mary Shelley, and how classic darkness can still illuminate modern life. Ooh, a round of applause. Welcome.
All right.
welcome back.
Hell of an intro. I like that.
Don't forget the Big Daddy topic.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Big Daddy, tell us what you can be talking about as well.
So, on this episode, I'm going to be talking about some unusual Halloween traditions and the origins of trick-or-treating.
That's right. That'll be the perfect piggyback off of our interview.
I don't know anything about how that started, so.
All
I
right.
also have a really cool local Richmond band that's pretty famous, that's spooky, and a new
Ooh.
business that opened up that I actually walked past and didn't realize. It's on Cary Street, but we'll get into it. But it's spooky.
Oh, I'm excited. And of course, we have a couple of events to throw at you.
Yeah, we got an icebreaker too, right?
That's right. Let's dive into that now. Let's break the ice. I have some rapid fire, just for fun questions, Kat, so our listeners can become reacquainted with you if they have forgotten. What's your go-to Halloween candy while writing late at night? Or during the day, since you go to bed early?
At 7 p.m., like a cool person. I love Hershey bars. It's the best chocolate
Excellent. Yes,
in
classic.
the world.
In the world. Wow, that's
world.
a...
Wow.
In the world.
That
American
is
It's a bold
chocolate.
statement.
Quite
The
a claim, and
best.
you've been to European cities, and
Yeah, it's a
She's
lot
been all
better
over the
than
world.
any other kind of chocolate anywhere.
Wow.
that's amazing.
They might
I will die on
hire
this
you
hill.
to like
You
write
could
a little
be
blurb or
the
something. I don't know.
Hershey influencer.
What am I doing in my current
Just a
thing?
plain Hershey bar?
Yeah, like
Wow. Milk chocolate?
yeah. Is that not what everybody else is doing?
I like it.
They're wonderful.
I like to make it last, like the little ones, as long as possible in my mouth. Sweet. Slowly melt. But
That's
anyway.
what she said.
Yes. All right, but I digress. If you were a character in a Gothic novel, what eerie setting would you inhabit? A windswept castle? A graveyard? A library?
Probably the castle, or maybe like there's scenes in Frankenstein that just take place in the Alps as a thunderstorm's crashing down. I think that
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be super spooky.
Since we just got back from there, I would support that. Okay. What's one book or movie that genuinely gives you the frights?
Did y'all read Josh Mallerman? He wrote Bird Box. That's
Oh, yeah. I read it.
Oh, I saw the show.
Yeah, the show or the
with
movie.
Sandra Bullock.
His last novel, somehow I'm blanking on the title. It was
I think I read it too.
the one about the mother, like
Yes.
mommy.
Yep. That was good.
It is frightening.
Did they make a movie out of that too?
They might already have, like they jump on them really quickly.
Yeah.
I also love, I should shout out Clay Chapman's Ghost Eaters is amazing and set in Richmond.
Ooh.
And absolutely stunning and very scary.
I'm going to write that down.
I like that.
Ghost
That could be a book club
Eaters.
book.
I know.
Yeah. And it's a huge book. It's now getting made into a movie that's going to be made in Richmond. But like, I mean, it's a big New York publisher, sold thousands and thousands of copies
Oh,
now.
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's huge.
They always have the cool stuff.
Do you believe in ghosts, literary or otherwise?
I know the answer to that because you showed me that creepy video.
Apparently, I got scammed on.
Oh no.
Okay, so not anymore.
Was that AI?
It wasn't AI, but it was some kind of like hoax thing that was big enough to have thousands of comments on
Can you tell the
Reddit.
listeners what we're talking about?
We were at a dinner party 6 months ago. I had met a woman in an online class who I became friends with, and she sent me this video saying it was from a coworker of hers. And it showed a New York apartment, and these two people came home from the bar, and they're playing some kind of like darts or something. And you see this ghostly figure pass around the background, and it's extremely convincing. And I thought, oh, I've been sent a cool video. I'm in the know. And it turns out that many other people were sent it.
I was scammed as well.
I was completely convinced, but then we were going to a show in DC, and his coworker Googled it, and it's like, yeah, everybody's falling for
It says
this.
hoax.
It's a hoax.
It was very convincing, though. I mean,
It was. Yeah,
I
so
was freaked out.
it clearly worked.
I missed this. I must have been singing karaoke too hard.
I'm agnostic on the point about ghosts. I don't feel like I know. I'm not convinced one way or another.
I think it was at Supper Club.
Yeah, it was at
the
we all
Valentine's
watched
Yeah,
it,
and Amy's with the lobster.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'd had too much wine.
You had too
by
much
then.
punch.
Who knows? Probably. Sounds like me. What song would be on your personal Halloween soundtrack?
Superstition by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh,
one.
that's a good one. Yeah,
The best one.
Yeah.
That's the point. All right. Well, that's enough grilling for now. Let's get into questions that you have deep, meaningful answers to.
I have a question. So you gave us Poe for your problems the last time you were on. So which was moody? Sorry, I'm messing up this question. I said you gave us Poe for your problems, which was moody, messy, and iconic. So what made you say, let's dig into Frankenstein next?
I had this thought like almost immediately after Poe came out, where I love Mary Shelley, and the more you dig into her life, I mean, the novels are Gothic, but her life is so much more Gothic. And I also have this deep and abiding, passionate hatred for her husband, and that's given me so much energy. Percy Bysshe Shelley was the poet. You probably read Ozymandias or, Ode to the West Wind in high school. He was a terrible, terrible person, even though he arguably helped make Frankenstein both better and worse. So anyway, I just found like a lot of energy in the topic, and that tends to be how I get into things, where I keep thinking about it. I kind of can't stop engaging. So here I am now, years later. I sort of tried to write it at the time, and then it didn't quite click. And then I sort of went through this whole personal experience with my own child having an illness, because Mary Shelley lost 3 of her 4 children in, call it infancy, but before the age of 5. So anyway, she was kind of this... Yeah, it's absolutely just tragic. But anyway, so she had a lot of these same experiences, maybe arguably so much worse, and yet produced her work anyway. So I don't know. It drew me in.
What did her husband do? Why was he such a jerk?
Well, so like the Romantics were, we probably don't think of this necessarily. Like we're talking about 200 years ago, like the 1810s. So on, they're coming out of the UK at the time. This is post-French Revolution, so there had been all this revolutionary spirit. Actually, now there's a long conservative backlash in the UK. But these are these young generation of hot people who are really into poetry and free love, and they are just as loose and slutty as you and me. They're all
Sounds kind of cool.
right.
Hallelujah.
And they're geniuses. So anyway, you have like Byron, you have Mary Shelley, who's the daughter of famous people, kind of this Nepo baby, but is an absolute genius in her own right, arguably more so than her parents. She meets Percy Bysshe Shelley, who's already married with a kid, when he comes to her father's house for dinner. And they probably bang on her mother's grave as a first
Whoa.
Meeting.
What the hell?
Sexy
Seriously,
as hell.
right?
On your mother's grave?
It's probably happened. Like I have looked into
Sounds
this.
uncomfortable. Okay.
We went to this
Sounds sinful.
over the summer. I went to the site, so it's dry and level.
Okay,
So
that's
you
good.
would think that as these things go, it'd probably be easier than other places. Like at least
Like
it's
the
not
beach,
swampy.
not the beach.
Yeah, that. No comment. So anyway, and it's shady, and like there's quite a bit of like cover. So anyway, I found it more plausible the more I looked into it, and this is not scholars agree with this too. Like, the opinion is somewhat divided, but so they probably banged on her mother's grave. They were already leading these super romantic Gothic lives, and then of course they also create these works of genius. Byron, Mary Shelley, Percy Bysshe Shelley are all like writing masterpieces that survive to this day too, and they're basically teenagers and 20-somethings at the time. It's hot. I don't see how anyone wouldn't be obsessed with this.
Yes, I agree.
But so why was her husband a jerk?
Oh, okay. So they believed in free love, probably. It's hard to totally discern because a lot of parts of her journals that are most relevant were destroyed. But anyway, so Percy definitely did. Like, so he got together with her when he was married, and he ran off with her, leaving his wife. So they ran away together openly, publicly when they weren't married. And this is, 1815.
Wow.
So a big, big deal. And they practiced this more or less openly. They were called the League of Incest by the gossip columns of the day. Byron was famous for, among other things, banging his own half-sister and probably having a child with her. Among scholars talk about how he had probably between 200 and 400 lovers. Like he was a busy guy,
How many
men.
STDs did he have?
All the 19th century equivalent.
Syphilis?
There were some spirochetes in that brain.
He died at 36, so he didn't have time to like develop any syphilitic brain or anything.
That takes time.
He died in a war, but like of a fever. Anyway, so they were just absolutely like all hooking up with each other. Probably Percy definitely had a huge thing for Byron. It's very evident. So, I mean, I don't know.
Plus, didn't he have an affair with? He had an affair with her sister, right?
Yes, actually, he had a child with Mary Shelley's stepsister.
This is so interesting. This is such like tea.
There's a crazy movie. Have you seen that movie with who's the guy that's in the Stigmata? Oh my god.
I'm messing it. But to answer your question, like, so why was he horrible? Even though they believed in this free love, he practiced it really badly. He probably had a child with her stepsister too, the same one that Byron had a child with. He impregnated their nanny. At one point, they're living in Naples.
And he's a serial cheater.
And I don't think Mary was into this at all. Like, I think philosophically, she was very deeply convinced of it. But in practice, it hurt so much, and it drew a lot of blackmail. And there was one point, like, I think this is the illustrative anecdote, but he was sleeping with so many people that scholars don't know who the mother is. They're like,
That's
the
insane.
Neapolitan child, right? Percy Bysshe Shelley's child, probably. But among their nanny, her stepsister, all these women in Naples, who was it?
Jeez. So he's just kind of a piece of shit.
He's getting around.
He's so huge of a piece of shit.
Well, if you want to learn more, you can watch this movie that's kind of crazy. It's actually about a weekend where they all get together, and it's like this crazy stream of consciousness. Have you seen it? It's called Gothic.
Oh, that sounds
It's from
interesting, but I would watch that.
1986, and it has Gabriel Byrne,
Okay.
Julian Sands, Natasha Richardson, a banging cast. But
sure.
they all run around the house like crazy people. So I highly
true to life,
recommend
I think.
everyone watch that. Fair.
So
Little added.
I want to know more about Mary Shelley. Like, who was she as a person? Or are there like any interesting facts about her? Or
Yeah, so she was the daughter of basically the woman who founded feminism in the West, Mary Wollstonecraft, who had lived this incredibly blazingly intellectual and daring life in the late 1790s. Like, she'd reported on the French Revolution. She was just cool as shit. She'd had had children out of wedlock openly. Then she meets this radical philosopher, William Godwin. So these are Mary Shelley's parents. They're these intellectual celebrities of their day. They're extremely daring. But in order so that Mary Shelley won't be illegitimate herself, they get married. And then her mom dies in childbirth. The doctor hasn't washed his hands since handling corpses.
God.
oh my
So
God.
when he yanks out the placenta, he gives her the fever
Oh
that
my
kills
God.
her 11 days later.
Wow.
So Mary Shelley, who's the product of these geniuses, grows up with all these intellectual celebrities coming through the house in London, but also just longing for this mother who she only knows through her books. And Dad was supposed to be this super progressive guy, right, who had married this feminist. But anyway, in practice, he was just too full of grief and like a workaholic to raise her in the right way. So she just kind of had to bring herself up. She had
No
an
wonder
evil
she's
stepmom,
Gothic.
right? And then in the middle of this kind of like neglect and so on, even as she's a super genius herself, Percy Shelley, who's a fan of her dad's radical philosophy, comes to dinner, and he's this wealthy son of a lord who's already been kicked out of Oxford because he advocated atheism, and he already ran off with one schoolgirl. Like, his trail of scandal precedes him, but he's the equivalent of a millionaire in the day, and also like a little bit of a celebrity because he's been writing this socialist poetry that's not actually bad. So anyway, they meet at the dinner table. It's this instant attraction. They probably bang on her mother's grave. And she's a genius. Like, she produces Frankenstein when she's still a teenager.
Wow.
And even after Percy's early death, and after the deaths of 3 of their 4 children, she goes on to produce a string of novels and support herself as a writer in the 1820s, 1830s, when this was
crazy.
not
That's
even a thing
amazing,
for
yeah.
men, right?
Wow.
It must have been extremely hard to do that back in the day.
Like, the system didn't exist at all.
Was
So
the
anyway.
main reason her social status? Because of the money?
She was like this widow of a lord, but she'd been this fallen woman for so long. But she was so good at what she did. She wrote encyclopedias, even though she had no formal education. She was just so smart and so interesting. I love her, obviously.
Yeah.
You're making me love her too. I'm really
I hope so.
intrigued. Yeah.
I hope so.
What's the most like surprising or inspiring thing that you've found out about her in your research overall, if you could pinpoint something?
There have been books written about how Percy arguably wrote Frankenstein a bunch, like, just because of the misogyny of the day, the
Right.
misogyny that continues to this day. People have assumed there's no way this teenage girl could have written this absolutely brilliant novel. But and Percy did edit and draft. He did encourage her work, which is one way he was not a piece of shit. Because when do ever people
Okay.
of this level
Some
of
redeeming qualities.
right, this level of talent, like one for the ages, meeting each other, you see why she stayed with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, so she did produce Frankenstein as a teenager, and scholars have debated it ever since. A lot of them giving him credit. It's not true. Like, in the textual analysis, he arguably made it worse, even.
Really?
Yeah. But I would say maybe one of the most surprising things is it's arguably about a mother's grief. It was after the death of her first baby. She had a premature birth at 7 months-ish when she was still a teenager. And when that baby died, it kind of reignited. She'd lost her mother. Now she'd lost her baby.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a lot
Percy
of
was
trauma.
turning out to be a piece of shit. Like, it was
Yeah.
just the worst moment
Yeah.
of a very young life. So you get this extremely potent novel.
Wow. I had no idea about any of her background. Can we dive a little into Frankenstein? So everyone calls it a cautionary tale of science, but do you think Mary Shelley was warning us, or was she just the original girl boss of the Gothic era?
this is what I got really obsessed with it. It's all been read as this cautionary tale about hubris and men and science and so on. But I think the more you dig into it, like, I think this is a novel about trauma. Victor Frankenstein, the scientist, creates the creature out of his own trauma. Like, he's trying to escape his dad's neglect. He's trying to escape. He observed lightning once, and it kind of put him on this dark path. He's very, very lonely and at university for the first time. Like, don't all of us go off the rails freshman year? And then
to this day,
every single year we go off the rails, right?
Yeah.
And then, so he creates his creature, and he abandons it the second it opens its eyes. He rejects it. It's ugly. And this has kind of always been read as like, what's the shadow self? Like, what are we rejecting about ourselves that we consider to be ugly and unacceptable? So that's not like a new reading, but I think like today, now that we understand like where trauma comes from and how deeply it sets in someone, we have things like the shadow work journal and IFS, or like parts work type therapy, where you recognize there are different parts of the self. Anyway, I think this is time for like that reading of it. Not to bore you too much, but I could go on for 45 minutes.
Well, it reminds me of the newest movie that came out, kind of, with Willem Dafoe. Did you see that one?
No, I don't think I mean, there are like 100 adaptations
This just
now.
came out like this past year, but I'm sure a billion others did. But it's kind of weird and trippy. I think you would like it.
Del Toro's one comes out Sunday, 2 days from now, when we're recording this, if I know what day it is.
Do you have a favorite version of Frankenstein?
Like the movie?
The movie?
Oh, the classic 31 Universal
Okay. Yeah.
monsters. I have made Greg watch all of these. They're amazing.
Do you watch Svengoolie on,
Should I?
what is that? Yeah.
Is it Me TV?
Yeah,
or-
it's Me TV. My parents watch it every Saturday or Sunday night. They put on classic horror.
Oh, okay. I would watch this happily.
Yes. It sounds like you could have watched all this on Svengoolie.
They're so good, these movies.
What from writing Poe for Your Problems kind of helped you prepare for researching this? Or are there any parallels, or is it just a totally different direction?
Reading too much into people's biographies and just cherry picking whatever the hell I think is most interesting. Which I think is fine. Like, I think projection is a very valid mode of inquiry. So I'm just like, what if Mary Shelley were my friend and we were pitching about stuff? What do I think she would say or feel? I think this is a completely valid line.
I agree.
what is the book going to be? What's it titled?
It's called Gothic Glow-Up.
Ooh.
Mary Shelley's Guide to Stitching Yourself Back Together. Still in proposal hell. Nonfiction is still on proposal. You don't write the entire book. You write a section of it. And then you sell it to publishers, which is how Poe sold too.
Great name.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm trying to take advantage of the amount of interest there is in Gothic things, which I love myself, obviously.
Flows really well with Poe for Your Problems too. It's kind of like on like another
Same
segment.
kind
I
of-
love it.
Consonant.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Like same vein, but different.
And like all these 19-year-olds
sold
are
as a
making
set.
TikToks about how much they love Gothic literature. So hopefully,
That's
I think
awesome.
You get
Thanks.
a winner, baby. Do you find that your subjects kind of influence how you think or live while you're writing about them? Like, does life imitate art?
I mean, for sure, I get absolutely obsessed with these things, and I talk about nothing else for 6 months at a time. And I think it's because honestly, I was raised Catholic, and we had this notion, especially like when you get confirmed in the Catholic Church, you have to choose your patron saint, basically. Like, who do you regard as your close friend who's a saint? And so I think this is like the literary equivalent of something I still do. I'm like, who is my BFF whose words I can put in their mouth in this way? Yeah, like when I'm going through something dark, honestly.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to that. I also grew up Catholic.
Okay, so you know, like you kind of develop a weird parasocial relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
If you could take, this is just a silly question, but if you could take Mary Shelley on a night out in Richmond, where would you bring her first? Would you bring her to the Poe Museum, Guar Bar, or somewhere else?
I've still never been to Guar Bar.
What?
You haven't.
I know. I
We'll
feel
have to
like
go
cool.
sometime.
I will go.
Yeah,
It's really
It's a pretty
cool.
cool place. They've got
Some
good tats.
R&D.
The Poe Museum, maybe if they have an unhappy hour. I feel like Mary Shelley is like one of those busy moms who like you need to like get 3 drinks into really quickly or she's going home.
I feel like day drinking Libby Hill might be
Yeah.
the perfect.
Or
Brown-
the
brown
Patrick
bag in
Henry.
it.
I feel like she'd like the Patrick Henry.
I think
it's
that
got
is
a-
such a good place.
Yeah.
and the
It's got a
food
good
is-
basement feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It gets dark in there.
She'd like to go day drinking with Liz and I.
And you,
Yeah, and watch me cry and leave my leather jacket.
We could be texting her at 1:30, like completely. Who's been at lunch? Or sorry, brunch way too long.
I know.
yeah.
So
We have met up that way several times.
Whoops.
how long is this novel, or could you say it's a novel? Has it been in the works?
So it's nonfiction, and so I think like finding the genre is always hard, but call it self-help. I've been interested in Mary Shelley for 5+ years, and thinking of writing this book for at least as long. Probably 2021 was when I first started thinking
Okay.
about it and like started try to draft, but then it took like a while to click, like these things do.
Is there anything that sparked your interest? Like you remember that was like, oh, I want to know more about her.
I read one of her later novels called The Last Man. And so Frankenstein's her first novel, and it's the most famous, but she wrote 4 or 5 more, a lot of which are less interesting than her others. But Last Man is an early work of like apocalyptic plague.
Oh.
And it kind of, this is after Percy has died, Byron has died, and she's sort of like,
When her mom died.
yeah, her mom is dead. She's lost so many people, all her children, honestly. So she writes this novel about a plague wiping out humanity and
Oh,
the
wow.
last man who's alive. So I was reading this. I've read it a couple of times now, but once, when we were in the hospital for a long time with my son, and that's just quite a potent place to dig into Gothic novels in general,
Yes.
but especially ones that are about just universal loss and so on. So I think I was obsessed from that point, but it's been a slow process.
Yeah, it sounds like a heavy sort of read.
It's
Intense.
Yeah, I don't recommend it for that. This is 400 pages, and scholars talk about how some of the deaths in it, there are prolonged deathbed scenes, and some of those were reflecting her own experience of the death of her children. It's very
wow.
personal
Yeah,
at the
very,
time,
yeah.
and it's very intense. It's not like a beach read.
It sounds like that's a way of her dealing with her trauma.
Yeah, I definitely think she's writing
about
it.
it. Yeah.
Did anything change what you were going to write about when you went traveling this summer and visited some of the places? Did it change your perspective on anything? Or was there one place that stuck out that you visited that?
I was really moved by visiting the church outside which her mother's grave was, where we think, which is famous for they probably banged there.
Yeah.
I was more convinced by the story. Scholars go into what is 18th century, 19th century underwear, what would have been involved
Yeah.
in this. That's the level of detail in the arguments.
It was
Anyway.
pretty loose at that time, right? It wasn't corseted up.
Depends on who you're talking to.
In the pictures of them, you see the long flowy
Right,
stuff,
you would
know?
think that
A little quickie.
Easy access.
you can see how this becomes a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I was really moved by seeing the church where her parents got married, considering they were both atheists who were deeply committed to opposing marriage in a time when that was so hard to do.
That's crazy.
And yet, her mom was already pregnant. So they did this thing that was very much against their values to try and give her.
Better life.
And it was one reason her dad reacted so hard. When she ran away with Percy, it was you have no idea what you're setting yourself up for, and he didn't talk to her for 3 years.
Wow.
Looking ahead, what are some of your long-term goals outside of this work? Or are you just kind of focused right now on getting it out there?
I'm sorry I filled your ears. You can hear like it's too much in my head. I've been into this for too long. I appreciate y'all indulging me. Fiction after this, I hope. We'll see.
You're still doing some freelance stuff too.
Yeah, I'm reporting full time right now, which is a lot of. I find it very interesting. I cover the Fed and the stock market and so on.
Wow. You're still involved in that?
Yeah, and it's busy
which
these
publication?
days. It's called Quartz, and it's
Okay.
QZ.com. It's mostly business journalism, so that's
Okay.
what I cover.
It's kind of cool though, the way you have like the interesting split of, I don't think a lot of people are versatile enough to do like business, financial journalism.
nonfiction.
And then
You think I'm
let's
boring about
balance
Mary
yourself.
Shelley? Wait till you hear me talk about banking. I'm not even joking around right now.
Do you watch the Federal Reserve reports and the live?
Yeah, absolutely. I am
Sounds horrible.
refreshing Twitter or like any source like the Federal Reserve's website, trying to get the press release first about whether they've cut rates or not. It was a big deal when they did in September.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
All right.
But if Mary Shelley could peek into 2025, the political climate, AI, robots, social media influencers, do you think that she would be terrified, or do you think she'd be like, yep, called it?
That's such a good question. I think she had a huge imagination and a sense of where things could go. She basically invented science fiction. So I think she would be both like so enlivened and so depressed at the same time, which is maybe how the rest of us feel too.
A
Yes.
great novel would probably be written by her again if she were alive today.
She would be an amazing commenter on it.
Yep. I can see her on CNN now.
The way, I sound very pretentious for a second, but like the way Frankenstein keeps getting reinterpreted in every age is in a sense her commenting on things.
Yeah. It's true. All right. If you could sit down for coffee with Edgar Allan Poe or Mary Shelley, what would you want to like find out from them?
With Poe, there's a lot of, among nerds, just controversy about the end of his life, where a lot of what we think we know comes from letters that were hand transcribed by the recipients. So maybe they altered the story to seem like, oh, it was definitely me and Annabelle Lee, and I was the one you always really loved. And like, so here I transcribed your letters to me, and they definitely are faithful representations of what you actually said.
Right.
So and that just kind of stands in for how much we think we know, which is so actually hard to establish. Like, in every single fact doesn't hold up, basically. So I would ask him, like, where were you born? What did you? It's that level of basic stuff that you'd want to establish.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how people think they know so much, and yet they know so little. True.
Okay, all right, this is a very important question. What are you going to be for Halloween this year?
It's a great question.
Mary
I'm so
Shelley?
boring on this one. Maybe I should try. We were talking about maybe being a nun and a priest.
Oh, okay. Classic.
Craig and I were a Catholic scroll girl and a priest last year.
That works.
We have a priest costume if
Arguably
you
higher.
need to borrow.
Yeah, I just like if
kinda
Amazon
like what I
sells a
look like.
costume, I
So,
got it.
didn't Craig walk by like a wedding party or
Yeah,
something?
I thought he was the priest. We're all drunk at my birthday party trying to walk onto the boat, and there's a wedding going on, and it's like really quiet. We're like tiptoeing. We're all dressed in our Halloween costumes, and then this priest comes walking up to me like he knows me. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna get yelled at, and it was Craig.
I forgot that.
He could have married this couple.
Yeah,
I know. That would be hilarious.
I think you
Find
should have
out
just
later.
played along with it.
It's not legal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, oops.
Get arrested.
Like,
That makes it easier down the road, though.
That's right.
It's hilarious.
it's like, this isn't what we planned.
Before we do a little Gothic trivia, do you have any like book events you're going to? Or I know you've done some like cons and spoken at them. Anything coming up?
Right now, honestly, like my head is completely down because I'm trying to finish this thing. So.
Yeah.
How can we support you and our listeners.
Oh, y'all, I so appreciate that. Poe for Your Problems you can find it on Amazon. It's at every Barnes & Noble. It's in the humor section.
It's a great Christmas gift.
That's so freaking cool that I know a Barnes & Noble author.
I'm always, when I go to places and I find it in the store, that always feels crazy. Or like,
I know.
It's freaking
that's me.
amazing.
That's my
Sure.
name.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
we went to the Barnes & Noble like flagship store in New York this past March or so, and I was like, I don't even know if I should look for it, but it was there.
That is so cool.
Wow.
So hasn't it been translated into other languages too?
It's in Spanish and a title I can't pronounce. But yeah, apparently Poe's very big in Spanish
Really?
language
Para
literature.
problemos.
It's something
Para
like that.
problemas or something like that.
It looks like cognates for like Guide to Living Like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. We'll have to ask Alejandro
We should.
verify
Yeah.
that. But
How faithful is this translation?
anything else before we do this little test of your Gothic
Let's do
knowledge?
the test.
All right, anyone can jump in on these. I'll
Okay.
allow it this one time. All right, let me get this. All right. You're probably going to get all these. What famous competition led Mary Shelley to write Frankenstein? Allegedly.
At the Villa Diodati, they were
Yes.
talking about writing a ghost story.
Yep. Lake Geneva, 1860.
All right.
What Poe? Oh, this one's easy. What Poe story features a man being walled up alive as revenge?
Cask of Amontillado.
That's right. These are too easy. What famous writer once said, "We are all haunted houses"?
Poe?
No,
I don't think I know this one.
Stephen
it's a
King?
woman,
No.
and it's from the same time period. Emily Dickinson. Zing, I got one in. Okay, this one's pretty easy. Which classic horror novel begins with a journal entry dated 3rd May?
Is it a letter?
It is a journal entry, but there are letters in this novel. Many. It's basically all letters and journal entries. And it's around the same time-ish, I would say.
Oh my goodness, I must be
Think of
blanking.
one of the big archetypes of horror.
You thinking of Dracula?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
Dracula.
Bram Stoker.
Yeah. Isn't that around the same time?
It's a little bit later.
Yeah, a little bit later. What is Mary Shelley said to have dreamt that inspired Frankenstein?
Oh, she said she had a waking dream that she was looking upon the creature and the scientist, the pale student of unhallowed arts.
Wow, that was like a direct quote from the answer. Wow. That's cool.
You know when you
I
shit?
didn't get jacked with Dracula right away.
That concludes our interview. Anything else you'd like to add? Anything else you want people to look out for?
I want everyone to join me in hating Percy Bysshe Shelley. So it doesn't cost
I'll
you
hate that
anything,
bitch.
right?
Oh, and please plug your Instagram because you're posting some cool content, like your travels.
I'm trying.
Yeah, do you have a TikTok too, or?
I do now. It's extremely cool, and with it, and I'm just under my own name there, so you can find me in my little jokes that don't work about Jane Eyre.
So what's your Instagram handle for everyone listening?
It's author Catherine Baab, and I think my TikTok's the same.
Cool.
Sweet. We will link it up.
Yay, thanks, y'all. I appreciate
But
that.
please stay with us and join in on whatever we discuss next. Perhaps
Big Daddy.
Big Voodoo
Big
Daddy.
Voodoo Daddy.
Yes, that's it.
And so, like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about unusual Halloween traditions and the origins of trick-or-treating. And so, starting off, the Germany, the Deutschland,
Yeah.
In some parts of Germany, it's a tradition to hide all the knives in the house before bed on Halloween night. This is done to prevent any returning spirits of the dead from being accidentally harmed. So that makes a whole lot of sense.
Sounds like someone we know.
Sounds weird. Okay.
I said they're unusual. So, going to Austria, some Austrian families leave out bread, water, and a lighted lamp on the dinner table before they go to bed. This is meant to welcome the dead souls back to Earth for the night.
So it's like Santa and cookies.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, that is.
I'd be like, all I get is some bread.
I'm gonna haunt y'all.
I want some cookies.
Unless it's sourdough.
So now we're going to England. Instead of carving pumpkins, and Greg, maybe you know a little bit about this.
Guy Fawkes?
Let's see. Instead of carving pumpkins, the celebration involves children parading carved out mangle wurzels, and that's a type of turnip.
What?
And so
Is this a real thing or is it a thing people have made up?
it's a mangle wurzel.
I've never heard of that before. Greg is shaking his
You
head.
found
no.
this article on Reddit. I'm just joking.
So it's historically the first jack-o'-lantern, and they're called punkies.
What?
Punkies.
This is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Smashing.
Yeah,
Smashing
so
punkies.
more a little about jack-o'-lanterns. Before Irish immigrants came to the U.S. and found pumpkins more plentiful, and like I said, the original jack-o'-lanterns were carved out of the turnips in Ireland and Scotland. So I guess England too.
I thought you were going to say
Turnips.
potatoes.
Like, is that big enough?
I know.
I actually looked up what one is, and it's literally a huge turnip.
I don't think I've ever seen a turnip
They're
in real
growing
life.
big over there.
This is like a beet or
Size of a
something.
tit.
It's a root vegetable.
Yeah, it's like a root vegetable. Yeah.
I get it confused with parsnips, which I'm also confused about.
I feel like they're like the same, right? Pretty
turnips
much.
and parsnips.
I think so.
Yeah, so
I don't really want to learn more either.
My grandma used to mash them like potatoes sometimes.
Ooh.
And then you'd be surprised because they're a lot more bitter sometimes.
Anyway, Halloween.
Sorry.
yeah, so
I digress.
once again in that same area, UK and Ireland, a courting ritual, you peel an apple, trying to keep the peel in one long strip. Then you throw the peel over your shoulder. The shape it lands in is said to be the first initial of your future spouse. So,
I bet everyone gets an O.
or like a C or a,
Yeah. Like what?
maybe an S occasionally.
Yeah.
What country is that?
So it's in the UK,
That's
Ireland.
the one.
So let's move on to the origin of trick-or-treating. So originally it was called souling in England, Philippines, and Portugal.
That's random.
And
Well,
so
soul. Your soul.
and so souling is believed to be one of the origins of trick-or-treating. People, often the poor or children, would go door to door singing and praying for the souls of the dead, called souls or soulers. And they receive small cakes known as soul cakes.
I've heard this is real, actually.
Oh my.
I'm thinking of like Beetlejuice where they're walking down the hall and he's like, "This is the Hall of Lost Souls."
Yeah.
They should make a theme park of like
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice theme.
I
That'd be
They really
amazing.
should.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
a
be
$1 billion
cool
idea.
ride.
Trademarking it now.
That'd be a cool fun house or
Only
something.
smart.
So the term trick-or-treat originated in North America in the 1920s. So candy was used after World War II when sugar rationing ended and the rise of commercially packaged candy was available.
I was going to say, so propaganda.
And so
Where everything comes from.
that concludes your spooky edition
Wow.
of Drop It On Us Big Voodoo Daddy.
That was a cool one.
Thank you, Big Voodoo
Very spooky.
Daddy. All right, we got some events, some Halloween events I'd love to tell y'all about. We went to this last year and had a blast, minus Olivia twisting her ankle.
Oh my god!
But,
I didn't just twist it.
Okay.
It was like badly sprained.
Yes, but she pushed down the pain and still went to the...
That's what- you
limped
just gotta walk it off.
It turned black, but it was okay.
This is also on Halloween at
that-
8 p.m.
Means it's healing if it turns black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just ignore it. Put a little Windex on it. It's fine. At Reveille in Carytown, they'll be having the Embalmers, friend of show. Yes. And then also Crack Fox and the Lonely Teardrops.
What kind of music is that?
Crack.
Like, your 60s, 70s.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Like witchy
Nice.
mix. The Embalmers do, of course, like the surf kind of stuff.
Surf, horror kind of.
Yeah, like I think there's a song actually called like Surfin' Zombie or something like that. I don't know. I could be pulling that out my ass. Doors open at 7, bands start at 8. Tickets are $25, 21 plus or 16 plus with an adult. There are a limited supply of lounge tickets available at the door, so get them online while they're
Get 'em
hot.
now. I have a really cool local spooky band of the week.
Ooh.
They're called Windhand, and they're from Richmond, and they're Virginia-based. They're doom metal and stoner doom, known for their blending heavy fuzz-drenched riffs and thunderous rhythms, ethereal, haunting vocals, drawing comparisons to genre icons like Electric Wizard and Sleep. The Ground adds a dreamy atmospheric edge to traditional doom metal. They were formed in 2008 by Dorothea Cottrell, Garrett Morris, and Asechia. I can't read. What? Can you read that?
Asechia, I would say.
Yeah.
As such, it sounds Italian.
Bogdan, Nathan Hilbish, and Jeff Lokes. Windhand self-released a demo in 2010 before lineup changes brought in drummer Ryan Wolf. Their 2012 self-titled debut on Forcefield Records gained strong underground traction, leading to a deal with Relapse Records. But they have an upcoming show in Richmond at the Broadberry on October 25th, 2025, and this will be a really cool Halloween-y thing to do.
So let's talk more about doom metal. So what defines the genre? Is it just the
Well, there's
lyrics?
different
Is it
kinds of metal. Like,
Is
obviously, there's hair metal. There's, like, System of a Down metal. It's, like, very political heavy. Doom metal, I don't know.
I'm thinking it means
I-
just gloom and doom.
There's
Yeah, I think
new
it's like-
metal,
like
right?
Gothic.
Yeah.
Venue.
Yeah, I think it's more lyrically doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Impending
Doesn't seem
doom.
differentiated from what else?
Mary Shelley doom.
Maybe there's specific rhythms or I don't know,
You'll have to see.
counterpoint.
We'll have to go. And then also, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I passed by this place and I didn't know what it was, but then I did some research, and the business of the week is Hiss Off. It's a goth and Harajuku inspired clothing and vintage decor
Is that
store.
in Carytown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
heard of it, yeah.
upstairs near Can.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's at 3122 West Carey Street. They opened in July, and it's owned by Sophie Smith. It features floor-to-ceiling hot pink walls, cheetah print accents, and a large cat art installation.
damn, sounds like that kind of place.
Cool. That sounds like my
Sounds like an
apartment.
oh la la vibe.
Yeah, I read about it in Richmond Biz Sense a while ago.
So it's a vintage clothing store? Is that what's up?
Yeah, it's a vintage clothing shop.
It's like a boutique. Right?
Hiss Off offers a mix of vintage and new apparel inspired by goth, alternative, 90s Y2K, and Japanese Harajuku styles. The shop carries brands ranging from Coach, Dooney & Burke, and Juicy Couture to the Ragged Priest. It also sells vintage home goods and artwork from local and independent artists, including quirky pieces like teapot wind chimes.
No.
Smith invested about $10,000 to renovate the formerly vacant space, transforming it into a bold, eccentric boutique that she describes as reminiscent of a New York City-style clothing shop. Hiss Off is now open Thursdays through Sundays, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sundays, 1 to 5 p.m., located upstairs behind Can in Cary Court, next to Tao Yoga.
So, question: Harry Juko.
Harajuku.
I've never heard of that.
It's
Is
Japanese
Is that like
style.
the really cute?
It's kind of
Cute,
like
like
what
pink
Gwen
goth.
Stefani
Yeah, I was about to
used to
say
do
it.
all the time. That's what
Harajuku
she actually
girl.
has, like Harajuku girls. That's like
Okay,
her
all right.
perfume. She has
Okay.
clothing.
I had
line.
her shoes in high school, and I was obsessed with them.
Hashtag
What do they look
obsessed.
like?
They were really, really colorful. They were like rainbow colored high tops, but they were really cool.
Anyway, Kat, do you have any shout outs? Anything you want to shout out going on?
Oh, I sorry. I talked about Ghost Eaters. Everybody should get this novel. It is set in Richmond. It's about,
yeah.
okay, so listen to the premise. there is a new drug discovered. It's psychedelic mushrooms that let you see the dead.
Ooh.
That is the whole
Sign me up.
premise
That's
of this.
so Richmond too.
Right? Because she starts to see all sorts of people, and she works at the Martin Agency. Like,
Oh my God.
I used to live in one of the neighborhoods that's made fun of at length, and he was right about all of it. So anyway, yeah, I would say read this book, Ghost
pretty
Eaters
cool.
by Clay
I'm
Chapman.
writing
All
this down
the
again. Ghost Eater.
Fountain Bookstore has it. I'm sure Shelf Life does. It's fabulous. And they're making the movie like right now. They've been in town. Well, I mean, I don't think they're in production yet. They've been in town doing location scouting and so on. So
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Maybe we can
The
get a little
extras.
walk on.
probably
Yeah.
like just being here, you will end up in background scenes. But
That's so freaking
They
cool.
do film a lot right around
Yeah,
here.
yeah. In Churchill,
crazy.
we've seen a bunch of filmings.
I believe that Jordan Peele blurbed Clay's last book, if that gives you a sense
Ooh.
of things. Which was
Is
set
he
in
gonna be doing
I
it?
don't know if
That'd be
he's
kinda cool.
working on it. I think they have a female director, but Greenfield, where my parents lived when I was very
Yes,
little,
I
is
know
in one of the newer books, which was just wild.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because that's the one over across from the park, right?
It's pretty low
Over
rent.
near-
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, it's not the nicest place in Chesterfield, which is saying something. So,
The pool was nice.
it was okay, right?
They let you bring a cooler in and drink. I mean, so that'd be kind of cool.
Cool.
Right?
It's not much that we are.
All right, guys.
Any other shout outs, peeps?
Shout out to the Broadberry, to Windhand, and to Hiss Off and the owner Sophie Smith.
Big Daddy?
All right, so I got a few shout outs this episode. So
Oh my God.
Pizzeria Mungo is going to be a new pizzeria on Arthur Ashe Boulevard and the former Big Wife mac and cheese spot.
Oh my God, it already is closed?
Yeah, it closed.
Wow, we never even went.
Yeah. I always wanted to go, but you have to be in
know.
that mood for mac
Yeah.
and cheese. You know, it's not really dinner. It's not
What is it? I
It's
don't
not
know.
lunch. But anyway, they are going to serve New York style pizza with a focus on high quality ingredients, and it'll be opening in October
Yay, that's exciting. Wait, October of next year?
of this year.
Oh,
yeah,
so very
Any
later,
day now.
yeah,
Okay.
any day, yeah. So other shout out goes to Taco Vegana. So it's located in our neck of the woods on Oakwood Avenue. And it recently opened October 14th with strictly dinner service. As you might have imagined, the cantina will feature vegan tacos. But
Yay.
last but
Oh my
not
God.
least,
There's more?
but wait, there's more. The Richmond Gun Hole. You guys remember that?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's a bag.
How can we forget?
So it's back, baby.
Oh
It's,
my
it's
God.
like it's like the McRib. And so part of the gun-shaped concrete impression has been salvaged,
She's back.
and it will be for viewing at the Valentine Museum starting October 21st. So if you want to see a
I can't
piece
believe
of
they've
history,
resurrected
they've salvaged.
Valentine's so good about this. They have a lot of the statues and so on that have come down.
And so please
Now
be
the gun
mindful
The gun.
if you're going to go visit the gun hole or gun
Gun
hole.
hole.
Please do not bring any offerings like coins or notes because the museum is asking patrons not to bring them.
Do not bring a 40
No
to the
offering.
Valentine.
Bring
Right.
holy water.
All right, so that those are my shout outs.
I just wanted to shout out some good standby places to go around this time of year. We mentioned the Poe Museum. I'm sure they have an unhappy hour coming up. They're always unhappy there. Guar Bar, of course. Kat, you've got to go check it out.
Apparently.
And then, of course, we always love for Dia de los Muertos to go to the Jasper. I haven't seen them announce it, but I'm sure something will be popping up there
They have a
as
lot of
well
good cocktails.
as at the Emerald Lounge in the hood. So
I do have another shout out because tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, but in 2 days for my birthday, we're going to Red Vein, and that's one of my favorite Richmond Halloween attractions.
What is
yes.
Red Vein, that's like a haunted
The haunted
house
trail.
stuff.
So it's
Oh,
it's
fun.
4 different things. We got VIP, so we get the haunted asylum, a house, a woods, and a corn maze.
That sounds
It's
So
really and it's
scary.
really scary and it's very well done and it's like they sell artwork there and have vendors.
We'll
and
probably break our
bands.
ankles
cool.
again. It's fine.
Well, not in the haunted house. They do a good job with safety and accessibility.
Good. ADA compliant.
Everyone can
I'm
come.
more worried about the outside part.
getting into it.
That reminds me of, were you there that time where we all got like stuck in the mud at Ashland Berry Farm in high
In
school?
high school.
Yeah.
God.
Yep.
And Christy Dennis fell, and like the person had to break character and be like, "Are you okay?" Because she was like stuck in the mud. But
Anyway.
shout out, Christy. Anyway,
I think I broke curfew that night.
yeah, I'm sure I did too. I did every night. But thanks, Mom. Shout out, Mom.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Especially Carrie.
That's right. Happy Halloween. Thank you, Kat, for coming on.
Thanks y'all for
Yeah.
having me.
This
I
was
appreciate
Yeah,
fun.
I can't
listening
wait
a lot.
to
Joining us.
read the final.
Me too.
So do we have a preview of the next episode, or will that remain a spooky
It's a
secret?
spooky-
It's a
mystery.
spooky mystery. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Check it. Follow us on Insta, Facebook, wherever.
Spotify and
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yes, and then maybe you'll get a little sneak peek of what we might have on next.
Yeah, a treat.
And make sure if you want to be on the pod, you can sign up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can DM
Drop us a
us,
DM, yeah.
etc., etc. So until next time, stay spooky out there. Woo.